In the last couple of weeks, F1 2020 has been announced and the hype for the new game has begun, with Codemasters teasing and mentioning all these different features from the previous F1 game to the current game, which will be released on July 10th. With the gameplay trailer coming out yesterday and all of these other YouTubers getting exclusive gameplay first hands-on on the new tracks like Zandvoort and Vietnam, I think it's time to pretty much talk about what do we know of F1 2020 as we head into the second half of May and then into the last month or so before the game's launch. So let's start off with the biggest feature, in my opinion, of Formula 1 2020, which is the new My Team mode. My Team and Career mode, according to Codemasters, are two completely different modes. My Team is a driver manager career mode, which will allow you to create your own 11th team in F1 2020 with a driver manager experience. So pretty much what do we know about the new My Team mode? I mean, right now we haven't really gotten any trailers or just any in-depth details on the new My Team mode. Apparently, on what Codemasters have said is that from race strategy to team personnel building and winter development, there are endless branches of possibilities where this game mode could go. So what they're talking about is you actually building your own team with your own facility and your own resources and all this stuff. And I really like how they've really gone into depth with this year's game, with the facilities and the development, and the fact that you have to build your own departments, we have to upgrade your own developments to the car. And plus, when it comes to also like teammates and stuff, you have to pretty much start with an F2 driver, and then if you want better drivers, you're gonna have to make more money, which means getting better results on track, which means you can maybe sign bigger and better drivers as the new mode carries on. The game director Lee Mather actually did an interview talking about the new mode, My Team, and he talked about a lot of finances and how finances play a part in new F1 2020 My Team mode. And he pretty much said this: engaging with the driver market and picking the most lucrative sponsors will also play a crucial part in creating a successful team. Now, what we do know is that Codemasters have not got any rights to actual real life sponsors, so what I'm guessing is that they're going to have to take the fake sponsors from F1 2019 and put it onto the F1 2020 My Team mode. So unfortunately there's no real sponsors for this new My Team mode, but at least we're getting some fake sponsors. Lee Mather continued to say you can't just throw cash around if you haven't done the legwork to earn it. You need to attract sponsors and deals in order to snap up an elite driver. So you need to do the work first before you can sign a Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo, and do your homework off the track as far as on it, which I think is a real good indication of how you need to work in this game if you really want to pretty much succeed in this mode. Spend all your money there, not there though, and you'll struggle to develop the car though. So pretty much you've got to even out the finances between car development and also driver progression. Another thing that we can also do is we can also train our driver. Obviously we're driving for our team, so we're not just the manager, but also the driver as well. So we have to pretty much drive the car and also help our teammate, which that's going to be real good, especially if your teammate's an F2 driver like Latifi or Mick Schumacher or anyone else. They also went on to mention how the player will be responsible for all departments needed to run the team. These range from those which impact on pure performance to departments who work to get you the best sponsorship and media deals, to those responsible for driver and staff training. So in this mode, it's going to be like MotoGP, where we actually have to train our drivers and train our staff to upgrade these parts and to get quicker with all of these types of game modes. So this is actually going to be really cool, the fact that we can pretty much use our development and use our skills. But like, how are we going to do it? Is resource points going to be back, or is there going to be a new source of currency in F1 2020 My Team? So now let's talk about the gameplay of F1 2020 on the overall track, since there's been multiple gameplay videos that have been released in the last couple of minutes, probably 10-20 minutes, with the bigger F1 YouTubers like Arav and Ben talking about F1 2020, the handling and the tracks. And I've actually been going through some articles, and apparently that Zandvoort is the first official circuit that has been fully laser scanned for F1 2020 apparently. So all the moans and all the complaints about how F1 2019 didn't have any laser scan tracks, well, Zandvoort is pretty much the first one that has been laser scanned. According to this article from racefans.net, Zandvoort is the first track that we've had full LiDAR, LiDAR, light detection and ranging data for, that we were able to obviously build a track from scratch for, says Lee Mather. It gave us a good head start. Playing the game, it's not so hard to see why Max Verstappen was so enthusiastic about the track when he drove it for the first time. Obviously, the Formula 1 driver's been complaining about the lack of realism, but you have to understand that this is a game, not a full simulator like iRacing, so they have to cater to pretty much that casual audience who don't really play the game, because I think this game right now, the game series, is starting to become like a FIFA or a Call of Duty, where you can't rely on full simulation. You've got to add some type of casual element to the game. We've seen in the hot lap video for Spain how the third sector was completely redone, and I actually like how the third sector in Spain, the chicane, is flat and the elevation is right before that, so it's before the right-hander and into the left-hander. The bump's still there though, but I'm glad that the third sector in Spain has been redone. As far as the handling is concerned, apparently it's more grippy this year. Apparently the handling is way more suited for high-speed corners, and the back end is actually a little bit looser this year, which I actually enjoy. So hopefully traction isn't as overpowered on the pad or the wheel. That's as far as I'm concerned. But apparently this game performs best handling wise when it's at its high speed corners, like the final corner in Zandvoort. We've got to see a couple of hot laps around there, also the new Vietnam circuit. I'm actually excited about Vietnam as well, and I really got the sense that this game is going to be quicker than F1 2019, based on the physics and based on how the cars react to high speed and how much grip that the cars now have. Obviously, this is still early days, so we don't really know anything until Codemasters or Lee Mather give us some interviews or some dev diaries talking about the handling or the physics. But the main thing I want to talk about before this video ends is the ERS system. A lot of complaints about the ERS system in F1 2019, how it was too complicated, it was unrealistic. I even said that it wasn't even durable, it was weak and it ran out too quickly. Well, apparently in F1 2020, according to Arav, the whole ERS is now automated. It's pretty much auto now, so you can't go through one lap and switch from medium to overtake back to none, and then none to high, and then high back to low, repeat and repeat. Apparently now it's going to deploy pretty much the most on the main straight, but we don't really know that because the only gameplay that we've actually got to see is from time trial, and it's stuck in 3. So what I'm guessing is that there are only 3 ERS settings in the game. I don't know which one, but I'm guessing apparently the ERS is going to be changing for the session. So for example, qualifying, hot lap, for the race maybe overtake or something. But we now get the consensus that now the ERS is going to be much more simplified than F1 2019, and it's going to be less complicated to use, and the drivers will actually have to focus more on the driving than focusing on managing the ERS, which I really thought really took away from the experience of F1 2019. So right now, it's pretty much May 13th, 2020. That's all we pretty much know of F1 2020 based on the gameplay, on the handling, on the new My Team mode. We haven't got any real trailers on the My Team, so we're going to see how that works. Is Emma going to be back? Is Carl going to be back? Apparently Carl's going to be back for My Team. But as far as the handling is concerned, and how it's more catered to high-speed corners and more grip, like the final corner in Spain and the last corner in Zandvoort, I'm actually starting to look forward to this game now. The engine sounds, that's another thing I want to talk about. The engine sounds so much better than last year. It really sounds good, especially on the downshifts as well. I'm hearing all these onboards with the Renault. The Renault engine sounds really good this year, I'm not going to lie. The Mercedes one sounds good as well. I'm not sure about the Ferrari though. I think Cody's needs to work on the Ferrari engine sound, but hopefully we should be in for an exciting year of Formula 1, even if there might be no F1 on the TVs for another couple of months. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Make sure to hit like, comment and subscribe. Please subscribe for F1 2020 content as soon as the game is launched on July 7th, well, if you pre-order the game, or if you get it on July 10th when the game is normally out. Oh yeah, 2 editions as well, the Michael Schumacher Deluxe Edition, 4 DLC cars, including 2 Benettons, the Ferrari and the Jordan of 1991, and then the 70th edition of Formula 1 2020, which I'm guessing that will be out on July 10th. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more F1 2020 content. My name's TomGorian. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.